Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Miniart. It's a kit in 1/35 scale and it's quite unusual kit, I would say. As you can see, it's a Tempo E400 3-wheeled truck from Germany, and kit number is 38025. It's completely new tuned release, so it will be interesting to see what is actually supplied in this, I would say, rather small box, and how this kit might be handy for your next build. Maybe it might be also a great solo project, who knows. But we have a commercial sample here. It means you'll get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video review, and we are going to open it together. So first of all, I have to note again that box size is not big. Here you can see comparison with my hand, because the vehicle itself in 1/35 scale, it won't take a lot of space. And also we have several marking options here, so if I lift this box and turn it like that, here you can see that we have 4 marking options included, and they're quite colorful, so it will be interesting thing to build. And on the opposite side you can see the address of the manufacturer, QR code, barcode, some safety advices, and of course a reminder that this is not a toy. And the box is a top opening box. So inside we have all frames packed into this sealed plastic bag. I'm going to open it right now and we will take a closer look together. Straight away I can say that this is kinda dangerous packing. I mean, it's great to see a one-piece part here, one-piece coating, because you won't have to work around any possible seams in this area, but in the other scenario it might arrive to you in a broken state, so you have to be careful. And as you can see, box is not sealed, so you can open it and check what is actually inside, whether it's intact or it is broken after rough shipping. And we are going actually to start with this part, because it's, I would say, a great sign of what can be achieved with a modern molding technology. As you can see, one-piece coating of a quite complex shape, I would say, with the cutouts. That's something what we couldn't dream before. And yes, it would be possible to assemble it from several parts as well, but of course one-piece element looks better. And note that it's on one attachment point, so that's why I'm saying it's easy to break it off. And here you can see it from the opposite side. By the way, if there is an engine included, it would be cool to leave it aside, not to glue it in place, and then you'll be able to remove it easily and show what is actually hidden under this coating, or bonnet if you prefer. Next we continue with a bigger plastic sprue. So here I think we should zoom out first so that you can take a look at the whole frame. So here we have road wheels. We also have some parts for the engine bay, and that means that we would have a detailed engine and gearbox here. So road wheels, they're plastic, and you can notice that we have some details on the tire walls. That's also a great thing. And of course this design that we have the sidewalls molded separately from the rims, it's also a handy thing, because it will allow you to paint them easily and avoid any unnecessary masking, cutting and other things. Also, it is hard to miss that there are a lot of thin parts and small parts. This is a 1/35 civil vehicle, and that's why you will have to cope with all these thin parts. By the way, here you can see these wheels from the opposite side. And other than that, I can see that molding quality looks great. We do not have any molding damage here, so it's just a matter of careful assembly and you get a quite special vehicle out of all these parts. But let's proceed with next spruce. So here we have another one, and this is a large panel, roof panel for the front cap. We also have a rear panel here. I wonder why we are given 2 options for the roof panel, so we will have to check the assembly manual, but inside you can see they are quite clean, so that's also a great thing. And there are also some guiding elements on the rear wall, so it will be Also important to see how they will be used during the assembly. Next we continue with accessories, let's say, for this vehicle, because all this stuff will be placed in the rear section. And as you can see, these are fences. Also we have a ladder here, we have some wooden poles, so all this stuff will go inside, as I said before. And note that these wooden panels, they do have some wooden texture, which is really great because it will look even better once you add some careful weathering and maybe play with painting techniques in order to bring out this wooden texture. Next we continue with this thing. So I can guess that it will be used for the front wheel, but we'll have to check again the assembly manual, because as you remember, this vehicle is a tricycle, so we have one wheel in the front, so that's why we need this special lever to control the front wheel. But who knows, maybe it will be used somewhere else, maybe I'm wrong. So if you know what is it right now, feel free to write in the comment section. But do not cheat, do not look in the assembly manual section. So here we continue with the front cap, and again I think it's worth zooming out first, because here we have some parts for the front cap. Separate doors, this is a really great thing, and as you can understand, there are not that many glasses on this vehicle, maybe the front glass, and that's pretty much all. This is, by the way, the front panel. As you can see, it is molded together with some parts. Here we have some parts for the interior, it means seat and steering wheel as well. But again, let's zoom in and take a closer look. So, amount of attachment points is reduced to the possible minimum in my opinion, so I think it will be easy to separate, but at the same time be sure to work with tweezers with these parts because they're really tiny. I can see that door panels, they're molded separately, so that's also quite an interesting thing, because it will give you a proper thickness of these parts, and it will also allow you to get internal features in open doors. And I think it will be worth opening at least one door so that everybody can see what is inside this vehicle. And the last gray plastic sprue is dedicated to the rear section, so rear bed. And as you can see here, we have again wooden panels which will be assembled together, but these ones do not feature wooden texture. So if I zoom in, you can see it with your own eyes that all these panels are rather plain. So it's up to you if you would like to depict something like a wooden damage or wooden weathering on these panels, but in my opinion they look even like this more or less okay, almost like a real vehicle. Once you get some weathering on these rivets, it will be even better. So that's the final gray plastic sprue, and maybe I will leave it like this here while I'm opening this plastic bag with clear sprue and decals. So just give me a second. Maybe a small note, if you haven't noticed, design of the sprues from Miniart has changed. So here we have the lettering for the sprues, quite unusual thing. Maybe it will be a bit difficult to find the necessary letter because now it's not that visible, but who knows, I mean, we have to play with these sprues in order to see how they work in actual assembly, let's say. So here we continue with the clear sprue. It was packed into the separate plastic bag, as you remember. So we do have side windows, but I'm not sure if they will be used in our build. I'm sure that the windscreen and rear window will be used though, so that's why you have to be careful while painting all this stuff. And I think again maybe Miniart made the design in such way so that you do not need masks, but we will have to check the assembly manual. And one more thing is the Decals Sheet, so it comes from Decograph. That's why you do not have to worry about any printing problems. And it looks quite nice in my opinion, so it's just a matter of careful application, and we all know that Miniart decals are quite easy to work. Next we continue with this special envelope for P parts, so I'm going to open it right now. We have quite small unpainted P thread, but I mean it is understandable because vehicle is not that huge. What is special here is this special but you can see that we have the tab with a model name, something what was not included before in Miniart kits, so it might be handy for a special stand on this vehicle. We also have this front grille for the coating, or for the bonnet, it will be inserted in the openings, as you remember, and of course I can see some internal elements which will be installed inside the vehicle. And now we can proceed to the assembly manual. So this one is printed in form of small color printed brochure. I'm going to zoom out right now, and here you can see it. So kit number is 38025. We have 4 marking options. Let's open it, because here we have first marking guide for the red vehicle, and in my opinion it's quite an interesting thing to copy because of the bright color. But again, the final decision is after you. As usual, Miniart does not show unused parts on the parts map, and I would say that's rather feature which can be corrected, because Miniart usually packs a lot of spare parts, so that's why it is important to know which parts will be actually used in your vehicle, in your version. Next, we start the assembly. We started with the front cap, so here you can see the windscreen installation, and I can see that maybe it would be possible to install it after painting the whole vehicle. Here, by the way, you can see the rear window installation, and that would be quite a challenge because we also have PE parts for the screen wipers. You have to use your own metal wire for some elements, as you can see here, for some control elements, so it will be an important thing to add because it will be visible on the finished model. Next, we continue by joining the rear wall together with this sub-assembly with a floor, and as you can see, as a result, we get, let's say, part of the front cap. And I can see that side glasses will be actually used, but we can depict them in open or closed position. I mean the doors, not the windows. And why it is surprising for me, because on the box art it is depicted without windows. Okay, next we start building the rear suspension. So this triangle was actually used for the rear wheel axle or wheel suspension. Then we assemble the rear bed and install the wheel fenders, assemble all these wooden panels together. Again, some PE parts will be used for open or closed position, because you can build these sidewalls in an open position. Here you can see the engine assembly, so it will be installed in the front, as you remember. But, I mean, in traditional Miniart fashion, we get quite a detailed motor plan, so that's why it's worth thinking how to expose it. Maybe, as I said before, just make a front cowling or the bonnet removable, do not glue it in the place, and it will be easy to display what is hidden under it. Next, we continue with this one-piece part. So, by the way, here you can see how the rear bed is assembled. Quite a funny thing, because this wheel suspension or wheel axle will be just inserted in the front cap. Then we continue with the bonnet. And here is the option for the open bonnet, so you can actually glue it in the right position. But as I said before, in my opinion, it's just better to make the whole part removable. It will be also a nice touch. And here we continue with some special options which will depend on the marking option you choose. We also have some parts which will be placed on the rear bed. That's the second marking option from Berlin 1940. And here we continue with Nuremberg vehicle from 1940 as well. It was on the box art, as you remember. Another one from Hamburg, late 40s, and that's pretty much all. Here on the last page we have small ads for other civil vehicles from the same brand. We reviewed them as well, so you can find it easily on our YouTube channel. As for today's vehicle, this quite unusual three-wheeled truck should be already available in all good model shops. You can get it in Modelimex, for example. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about such a release. Do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye!